Welcome, Joseph Blatter, to the Executive Talk. You just came back from Russia, where you spent 5 days with the World Cup, watching the game, feeling the football fever again. I was just wondering, was there ever a moment where you were sitting in the stadium and thinking, wow, I would still like to be president of FIFA, and what if all this didn't happen, what actually happened, and I could still be the president?
But listen, it was a wonderful moment when I arrived in Moscow and arrived at the hotel because there was a television crew, 2 television crews, people were there, photographers were there, and at a certain time, certain moment, I thought the history has stopped and I'm still there. This was my feeling when I came in.
But is that a good thing? I mean,
this was very positive for me. I thought the time has stopped. I'm still there, and passing then 4 or 5 days in Moscow, St. Petersburg, visiting also the boss. I would say that was a very good time for me, and then I have realized a little bit more than when I was president that I could go into, let's say, the fans, with the fans. And then the fans, they recognize me. And then at a certain time, especially South America and the Africans, they said, Blatter, Blatter, Blatter. So I thought, really, I am back. But I am not back. I was just there to witness a wonderful time that I have spent so many years in FIFA. And for me, it was like just a present to be there.
However, I mean, you still have a lot of friends in the game, that's for sure. You have a lot of critics as well in the game, and that's why I asked, was it a good thing? Is it a wise thing to go and face your critics? Because they might say, now Blatter wants to come back and he wants to get in the game again.
No, but the critics are only the media. So, because I have never had any critics against me by any population where I have been, even in Zurich, even in all Switzerland, the critics, they are coming from the media because they have started to demolish the image of the president of FIFA at that time, and they go on. They have nothing other to say. And I have passed this period now, so I'm happy to be with the good people, and I'm happy to be recognized.
You have passed that period now, you say, but is there still some kind of bitterness, a feeling of being misunderstood?
Yeah, yes and no. The time passes, and with the experience you have made during your lifetime, and with the wonderful, I have to say, the wonderful time I have spent in FIFA, starting by nothing in FIFA. There was nothing in FIFA, and at the end of 2015, where we have been, I think it was a wonderful time. And naturally, the departure was not as I would have wished, but it's not yet finished. It's not yet finished. Everything will go well, and I'm sure at the end of this year, all the, let's say, some critics, they will still be there, but it will be, I'm sure it will be solved. Specifically this problem where I am suspended together with Michel Platini.
It's interesting because it goes into politics. It was a political gesture in a way. And you always said that you want to keep politics and football apart, that they don't have to do anything one with the other. And even if you take Russia, for example, and we talked about Putin, if can you actually really set those things apart? Can sports work or function without politics at all?
I like this question because I have a new approach in little bit more than a hobby, and this is geopolitics. And in geopolitics, I have put a question: is sport player in politics, or even can sport be a director in politics? And the moment when sport, and specifically football, became so important, 2 billion people in the world are directly or indirectly touched by the game. There is no population, no culture, no religion. They have 2 billion people, but football. So if the social, cultural quality of football, to bring people together to enjoy a game. And then with this, now, because of television, the wedding we have had with television, 2 hours of spectacle, the money coming into the football, obviously the football has received a political dimension. And we have seen that in the past. The most visible was, for me, the intervention of Nicolas Sarkozy towards the election of the 2022 World Cup to Qatar.
You say Sarkozy actually fought for the...
Yeah, he was asking Platini to vote with his colleagues for Qatar. Otherwise, according to consensus we have had in FIFA, the World Cup should have gone to the United States. So we would have, on one side, we would have Moscow, and on the other side, Washington. And this would have even, let's have a handshake for peace eventually. But this was that. And now also, that's why we must make sure that politics is not going into the game. Politics can help to solve a solution. We tried and we succeeded in the island of Cyprus, where teams can play together, not the national teams, but club teams. I tried very hard also to bring Israel and Palestine, at least the 2 presidents of football, they have a handshake. But now one has seen also for the 226 the intervention of the President of the United States. He was taking part of that. And you cannot forbid a head of state at a sudden to come in to say, football for me is so important that I want to be in.
However, you met a lot of those head of states and presidents. Have you ever felt used by them? Because I can imagine, if I think back, this is your 11th World Cup, so your first must have been 78 in Argentina, which was a prime example of a country.
This was when this was my first World Cup with FIFA, directly involved in FIFA. And
it was a dictatorship, taking advantage of football. With
Videla coming in there and changing everything, and this World Cup was, I would say, at the end the World Cup, I remember, because at that time generally the 2 finalists were invited for a dinner, and then one of the finalists did not appear. Holland was not coming, and there was this political intervention. But in '82 it was the same. In '82 we had the problem with the Iron Lady, with the Malvinas and the Falkland Islands, and we had England and Argentina in the same group. So politics it's always present.
So you have shaken hands with people that you thought I wouldn't shake his hand if I wasn't FIFA president.
Yes, but I was not FIFA president
Back then, you're right.
At that time, and I have not shaken hands with Videla. I couldn't approach him. I was not important enough to approach him.
Some might say maybe you were lucky.
But later on, I have I shake hands with the head of state, because we are not in politics, and we bring football to these countries, and football is a school of life, it's education. Football is a game, it's a universal game. And if the head of state receive you as a president of a federation, then you shake hands with him.
We can feel you're still very much invested in the game and in the sport and in all that surrounds the sport. However, you've been out of that game for 3 years, you've been suspended. Honestly, how much did that hurt, and how much does it still hurt?
Oh, at the beginning it was like a coup on my head, on my shoulders. I couldn't understand what has happened to me, because my conscience is still. I'm not aware to have done something that should go into anti-law, whatever.
You haven't done any mistakes, or your conscience is clear?
No, I have made mistakes. I have made errors, naturally errors, but I have not made such mistake that they go to criminal law. Definitely not. And therefore, we are in a sports organization. And in a sports organization, it's like any association. It's like a gymnastic club or whatever. The FIFA is the same. And according to the Swiss civil code, when the General Assembly is accept the reports of the President of Finances and all that, and all is over. And these 2 million Swiss francs, which were a late salary paid to Platini, was part of them in 2011. In 2011, it was all signed. And then in 2015, there was open a case against that. And this I cannot understand, and it's not yet finished. It's not yet finished.
We deliberately don't want to go in all the details, ins and outs, and nitty-gritty, because as you said, it is not finished, and there's still investigations going on. But I take it that you were hurt, and
I was hurt, definitely.
And I wonder, was it more because you've been taken away something that you love, or what you always say as well, you've been betrayed by a lot of so-called friends. What hurt more, that the professional side or the personal side?
No, the personal. The personal, because I am first of all, I am my character. I'm a faithful man. I'm a faithful man. Faithful me and my environment. I'm a good Christian, and I have to say that in my management, how I conduct my business, it was management by trust and confidence. And I have seen too late that in such a business, when you start with 12 people and you have no turnover and you come to billions, then by management by trust.
So that system failed.
That was wrong. That was totally wrong. So I have been betrayed by people inside FIFA, my own people, that I have signed the contracts, and by the elected people from the continents, not by the FIFA, but the continents. And they were very happy to see that this guy, he is now somewhere in problems. And this gave then, I would say it was like a complot. And this hurt it more than to lose the prerogative of a president.
We talked about your personal mistakes, and you said I was probably too trustworthy, I was probably too gullible, but honestly, can't you understand the critics that would say, I mean, as the president of FIFA, he must have known, he must have been in the loop of a lot of these things. Otherwise, he didn't do his job right.
No, but you know this, I was, the FIFA president is always, or at least it has been always, in cohabitation, la cohabitation. And why? Because the president of FIFA is elected by the Congress. And the members of his government are elected by the confederations. And I have no clue to control them. We tried to control them. And who was against the control of the members? That was UEFA.
Yeah,
UEFA, yeah. Because they have said, we in UEFA and a committee of FIFA control our people. Then the other confederations have said, okay, if UEFA, and so on. So I had no clue. And one can say that I should have listened a little bit to some, let's say, sounds coming around. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. There have been good people that say, attention, attention. And, but I was going on in my style, and I think everything will go out, will be well done, and so on. And so here we are.
That goes into another mistake that you admitted, that you said, I shouldn't have run again for the last 4-year term. Is that because you thought it is nice, and I like my life, and I like my privileges? So is that maybe a mistake that a lot of people with power do, that they don't know when to stop,
to finish,
or when to quit?
Yeah, but you know, the people, they loved me. My family, my love, they said, stop in 2014 now. It's the best you can do. But then the Crown Prince, Platini, he said then in December of the same year, I will not be a president.
You go ahead again.
Yeah, I will not be. And then the others, my friends, but then they betrayed me later, doesn't matter. But they said, listen, we are not ready in another continent to have a president, so go on for the next term of office. And then I came there in, and this was wrong. This was a mistake. This was wrong.
And it cost you a lot of pain, I guess, and we heard that before, and it cost you a lot of years also fighting against these allegations. When you look at yourself now, you're 82, I may say so. Are you a happy man?
I am a happy man. I'm a happy man now because I have recovered of all these collateral damages that I suffered. The only thing I don't recover, and this is such a pity, my granddaughter, she was at a school in a college in Sion, and then when all this happened, then she was mobbed because her grandfather is a bad guy.
How do you deal with all these setbacks? You said it before. You're a man with a lot of faith. You believe in God. You take your strength from there. Is that all, or do you take the will to go on fighting as well? Do you take it from somewhere else as well?
Oh no, I am a fighter, and when I put my mandate at disposal, I did it by purpose because the American authorities, they have attacked FIFA by saying it is a mafia organization and they must be punished. And the way I put it at disposal, then they changed. It's now a victim. But in the same time, the FIFA, they should have given me the right to reorganize a little bit, and then they suspended me. My own FIFA suspended me, and this is something which I should have at that time fought against it, saying no, I don't accept that because I'm elected by the Congress. It's only the Congress that can come in, and there is the moment where I have lost my energy to fight. But now I have recovered my energy, and okay, with my faithful life, but I have this energy, and I still have this energy, and I still have to do. I don't want to work. I want to create and to do something. And I have still a lot of correspondence. I'm giving speeches in organizations, and so. And I enjoy my life. I enjoy my life.
You might say as well, Sepp Blatter isn't just going away, which could also be for FIFA, would have been probably easier to deal with. But you say, no, I am around.
Yeah, I am around, and I say it, and I mark it. I say I am there. I'm still there, and they don't like it. Some of them in FIFA.
If they came back, let's suppose they came back and said, "We're sorry what happened." Let's be honest, it will not happen. But if it was the case, you always said, I can forgive, but I cannot forget.
Yeah.
Are there things that are unforgettable for you, or even unforgivable because you feel hurt, as you said?
Yeah, but you have to forgive. If you don't forgive, then you can never live in peace. You have to forgive, but do not forget. But it would have been so easy, so easy. I had an invitation by the president of the Russian Federation, Mr. Putin. The president of FIFA was aware of that. They spoke about my invitation. And he said, yes, he can come, that's no problem. Why the president of FIFA at that time should have said, okay, if he's invited by the head of state where we played the World Cup, I invite him as well. Come in and finish. And they were over. But
you're still not speaking?
No, but it would have been so easy. That's what we have discussed with in the Kremlin. It would have been so easy. Finish.
Would you call Mr. Putin a friend? You said, I know him quite well.
A friend. I would say we have been. You see, when I met Mr. Putin at the very beginning, he was. He is. He's not the guy who says, "Yes, we go." He was not even here when we took the decision.
Because he didn't believe that it would go to Russia.
He didn't believe until the end. And it's only after he have taken in Kaliningrad his plane to come here to have a press conference on the 2nd of December, that after the press conference he came to me and he made an abrazo by saying, now I believe what you have suggested, not what I have said. I said, you have a chance to come. And since then, we are colleagues. It's not a friendship where he says friend, but it's not the friendship that I would cherish when. But I lost my friends. I lost a lot of friends.
How many are left? True friends?
I need one hand only. Really.
And you had thousands, or if not millions, when you were.
No, but I left and some of them I realize now. They even when I'm now in Moscow, they tried to meet me. That's good. That's good. It was African and European also. No, it's good. It's good.
Final question: when you look back at your life, I know you had a very, very let's say tumultuous start, or very, very difficult start. You came to life too early. I think in the 7th month, you were only 1 kilo 200 gram or something. So a very difficult start. And when you look back at your whole life now, what do you think? That the small boy from the canton de Valais, when you look at him now, what became of him? Are you satisfied? Are you content with your life?
I'm surprised.
Most of all surprised.
No, I'm surprised. No, really, but I had to fight from the very beginning to be alive, because they just put me in a basket, and hospital, no, just there, try. There was even to say if he's alive or not alive, and I survived, and I had to struggle all my life. And this has marked my character, and but it's another thing which is my character. I got it from my parents or grandparents and so on. It is this wish, or not only wish, the will to travel, to go around. So I started to work in hotels at the age of 12 years to serve. I have made 6 summer seasons in Saas-Fee, Zermatt, Locarno. I was in the hotels, working, and studying at the same time, and to serve, and then playing football, and always try to be a little bit faster, not better, but faster than the others, because I had to struggle always. And I was a little bit faster when I was starting my professional life. When at that time it was 8 o'clock to start. I started at 7. I have 1 hour. And this went through my life. Even when I was president here in FIFA, I started at 7. At 7 I was in the office when I was in Zurich. That's just to have an advantage of more time, more information, and more information you have, then the better knowledge, and with the knowledge you will have also the experience, and with that then you can aspire to positions, and then you have to believe in that you do it, and then to be successful, just a little bit of chance, and then you are there.
But Joseph Blatter, the fighter, that's still the case.
It's still the case, yes.
Sepp Blatter, thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.